The police was in the news quite a bit throughout last week, the matters, some of which the National Assembly had to take up. The Senate did take up the one involving the shooting of a young lady who was supposed to have passed out of the National Youth Service Corps a day after, and also the killing of policemen here in Abuja by some unknown bandits. And also the House of Reps took on the matter of policemen who protested in Maiduguri over unpaid allowances. We have with us this morning Mr. Moshood Jimo, who is the acting deputy Deputy Inspector General of Police, and also the Force Public Relations Officer of the Nigeria Police Force. Mr. Moshood, you're welcome to Sunrise Daily.
Thank you for having me. Good morning, Nigeria. But if you permit me, I'm acting Deputy Commissioner of Police. Deputy
Commissioner, beg your pardon. Let us quickly take on, how did the police feel, about its image? It would seem that it had quite a lot to chew on last week, with it being constantly in the news. First of all, the murder of some of its own policemen here in Abuja. What happened?
Thank you so much. I want everybody listening to us to know that we are not sleeping on our horse. We have made significant progress and successes in achieving results in the area of crime prevention and control, and even dealing with those crimes that cannot be prevented by effective and prompt detection and arresting the suspect that are involved. You know, Evan is there, the vampire issue is there. There are quite a lot we have to mention for people to know that we have done a lot. Even along Kaduna, Abuja, sanity has been restored. But the attack on our personnel, ambush attack is a surprise attack. It can happen to any force at a given time, but depends on how prompt we respond to such an attack. The Inspector General of Police have promptly set up a crack team of specialized investigation team, which are soaking into action, and we've arrested 5 suspects. Now we are investigating the motive behind the attack, because that's different from attack where you engage the robbers, or you engage the kidnappers, you engage other hoodlums that carry firearms, or even the militias. We are trying to get down to what motivated the attacks, because the attack took place, and that's why they were able to take them by surprise when they are changing over duty. When you are changing over duty, there are quite a lot of things that are involved that may be prone you to attack. So Inspector General of Police has equally directed that all Commissioner of Police and AIG supervising them across the country should beef up security in that area, because when such happen, some other thing can follow, which we have to prevent. Those who have arrested are assisting us further in the investigation into this matter, and we are very sure we are going to unravel the direct and the remote causes of this attack. The Inspector General of Police sympathized with the family.
Just a moment, I have to interrupt you. You talked about ambush. They were ambushed while, for people who know Galadimawa very well, there is a huge roundabout there. Yeah. We know that there's a police checkpoint. We also know that there is even a police cabin where these people usually stay. Some people come out, some people go into the cabin. You say that there was a handover, and it was during that process that, this ambush took place. How were they ambushed?
Thank you so much. Change of duty. When changing duty, when one policeman on duty are giving way for another to take over duty. And when you say ambush, ambush does not necessarily mean that when you are on transit alone. Ambush is a surprise attack that can take place when somebody who is a criminal or bandit observes the situation at hand and ambush you before you can be able to react appropriately. It doesn't only happen to the police, it's happened across the world, and we are responding appropriately. That's what I want you to understand. They responded, and the intervention forces are equally responded, and that is why we're able to get down to the 5 suspects that have been arrested. Okay. I want to,
I'll let you finish
if you allow me, what I was trying to get across that the Inspector General of Police has sent his condolence to the family of this slain police officer, and I promise them that no stone will be left unturned in unraveling those behind the killings.
The Inspector General of Police has said he will leave no stone unturned to discover those who were behind the killings of the policemen. Let us also find out whether compensation will be paid their families and how soon that will be done.
Promptly. We have a statutory compensational arrangement for police personnel. And outside that, equally, the federal government of Nigeria have an assurance coverage for every police officer that died in active service of this nature. And those have been processed. And that is why the Inspector General of Police assured the family that they'll get that promptly. We know that these are part of the sacrifice we have to contribute in ensuring that we make everybody to be safe on the street. The bottom line still remains that police job is highly risky, and that is why when you are into the job, or when you sign the oath of office, oath of allegiance, and loyalty to the force, you must ensure that you follow that to the letter. And when that comes, we take it as it comes, and the force don't leave the family alone. They ensure that adequate compensation are promptly paid to them. So for them, it is being processed and need to be paid.
Well, we sincerely hope that that will be the situation.
And if you permit me, in addition, the IGP have a special welfare package outside that of the federal government and the statutory payment in the force, which he has launched when he came into office. Okay. And they'll be entitled equally to that compensation.
Just wondering then, how do you hope, because we've heard from the Senate now that they hope to investigate, they're concerned about the killings of these 7 policemen, and they hope to investigate. Not just that, we'll come to the second matter, which is the matter of the young lady who was shot, want to believe was accidentally, by a policeman, and denied some treatment, even though the hospital in question is denying it, and eventually died as a result of the gunshot wound. They have said they're going to investigate that particular matter. Considering the frosty relationship that the National Assembly has with the police, how do you think that investigation is going to go? Is it something that the police is willing to submit itself to in the National Assembly?
Thank you so much. The investigation of crime lie mostly with the Nigerian police force, no doubt. Even if we are concerned, we carry out a proper investigation, and it is based on that the IGP has set up this team of investigators to look at it, not only to detect and arrest those who are perpetrators, to equally come up with modalities to foster such an attack in the future, and equally ensure that people who have derelited in one rule or the other are actually what they call identified and punished. And if the National Assembly, in their own wisdom, want to go further in investigating what they feel is within their statutory power, we are not objecting to that. But we don't have any frosty relationship with the National Assembly. I wish to correct you. And we've been doing the best.
But does the National Assembly have a frosty relationship with you?
I wouldn't know, but we don't have. We don't have any frosty relationship with them, because it is important for all organs of government to join hands in this regard to ensure that the property is commercially as it has to do with securing every Nigerian across the Federation.
Deputy Commissioner, concerning the killing of the 7 policemen at Galadimoa Junction, there are kind of different shades of thought on what this could possibly be in the absence of fact. One is that you have the Al-Barnawi faction of Boko Haram, which has publicly declared that its interest is in attacking security agents of the Federal Republic of Nigeria rather than innocent civilians, and that could be from where this, the place from where this threat came, or that it's just a common criminal element that has attacked the police. Now, given the suspects that you've brought in and you've talked to, are there terrorist links here, or is it just mere criminality?
Thank you so much. I wouldn't tell you this on television because it won't be appropriate. As we speak, quite a number of different groups outside the 5 suspects that we have in our custody now. Different groups are equally being arrested. As far as I won't mention state, far away, maybe 2-3 states far away, in connection with what we believe we should check. Like the IGP promised, no stone will be left unturned in arresting them. So we are bringing in all the suspected group for this attack. And from the 5 suspects, we are getting close to the group that carried out the attack because they are members of such gang. So I will stop at this because investigation is not appropriate to be done in the media, because it's not only public-spirited individuals and good Nigerians that are watching us. The bad ones are equally listening and watching.
While that's understandable, let me just ask you, has there been any recovery of the firearms that were allegedly taken from the policemen that were killed?
We have recovered some. We have recovered some. That's what I can tell you. We have recovered some, and we are making more recovery. And of recent, we've been parading huge catches of firearms that have been recovered from the militias and the bandits and equally kidnappers and robbers. So we definitely promise all Nigerians that we are going to recover all our weapons, because one single weapon lost can be a danger to a whole community.
Deputy Commissioner,
let's quickly switch over to this matter before we go to the elections coming up this Saturday. The young lady who was accidentally shot here in Abuja by a police officer. Are you investigating that as well?
Definitely, the investigation is ongoing, and the Commissioner of Police in the Federal Capital Territory has briefed the Inspector General of Police of the update of the investigation. The inspector that fired the shot was tried in the room because everybody had dignity and human right to be observed.
He's been tried already?
He has been tried in the room trial. The trial has been concluded. He has been dismissed out of the force. He was found guilty, dismissed out of the force, and arraigned in court as we speak. The court has fixed the next hearing of the case. So, but we want people to say that
What's the name of the inspector, please?
It's not appropriate giving the name on here also, if you will permit me to
Why is that? Because people sometimes want to be sure that that's really what has happened.
Like it's been taken to court now. He has the right to fair hearing. And you don't try to obliterate or preempt what the court.
It's not a secret trial, is it?
It's not going to be a secret trial.
I believe that it's something that the press can follow and know his name at the end of the day.
I wouldn't do that because he's still personnel of the force until maybe he has been dismissed from the force. It's no more personnel start now, but it's a Nigerian, and he had the right of ensuring that he faced justice. I don't engage in trying him.